Welcome back. Today we're going to learn about data types in C++. In the previous class, you have learned about what is variables and how we use comments. Today we're going to discuss about data types and the types of data types. Moreover, I will even show you the practical implementation of that. Now, whenever we start learning any programming language, data types is a very, very important thing we have to know. Like it actually tells us that what kind of data you are using in the program. When it comes to C++, it is very important to understand each and every type which is present. That is, we have to know all those data types which are there. Now, when it comes to the definition of data type, in very simple words, you can say that data types are nothing but data a variable can hold. So it can be any kind of data, whether it's a number or maybe a decimal number or something else, which we will discuss later. But right now, you can simply remember this 5 words data a variable can hold. Or you can even add one more word in front type of data a variable can hold. Now, when it comes to C++, we have 3 types of data types. The first one is called as primitive data types. Second one is called as derived data types. And the third one is called as abstract data types. So these 3 are the major data types which are present in C++. And you have to have a note that these are also subdivided into various data types, which we will discuss now. We'll start off with the very first one, which is the primitive data type. Now, when we talk about primitive data type, in simple words, you can get the idea about is that primitive data type are simply built in C++. So these are data types which are already there in C++, and we can simply use them in order for us to make work with the particular data. And in primitive data type, we have subdivided them into first one is integer, then we have character. After that, we have Boolean. Then we have float. We have double. We have then void. And last one more, which I will write here in the center, it is called as wide character. Now, if you see all these 7 kind of data type, which are all the primitive data types found in C++, extremely important and very, very useful. We'll start with the first one, which is integer, and I will give you the idea about how integer works. So when we talk about integer, very simple to understand. Integers are those data types which can hold number which are there in your number line. For example, all the integer values is kept in this data type. And we refer this using the int keyword, which is found in C++. That means the integer data type can carry all the integer type values inside it. But we have to know 2 things about integer, that it has a particular range. That means you cannot put more number than that or less number than that range. The range is -214 748 3648 to +214 748 3648. So this is the range of an integer data type. If you have made a variable using int keyword and you want to store a value, you have to remember this range. You cannot put less than this particular number, or you cannot put more than this particular number, because every data which you take takes up a little bit of space in your memory. And for integer, we have 4 bytes of maximum memory. So you cannot go beyond that. For that, we have different kind of data types. The next one we have is character. In C++, we refer it as char. Characters are written inside single quotes. That means I can write something like this, that I can write char, which is a keyword, and then I can write a variable name. Let's say my variable name is a equal to, I can give a single quote and let's write a capital A over here and give a semicolon. So this is initialization and declaration of a character variable. The important point which you have to remember of character is that character takes 1 byte of memory. The next one was Boolean, which in C++ we referred as bool, B-O-O-L. Now this is a very interesting kind of data type because bool can give only two outcomes. That means you can get either true or false. For example, if I say that today after 7 p.m. it will be rainy. Now I've given a statement over here. Let's say you're watching this video at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I have given a statement that after 7 p.m. it will be rainy. Now, do you think whether this statement will come in the category of true or false? Nobody can 100% predict or say that it will be rainy after 7 p.m. Even if somebody have told you, or let's say you've seen the weather report that it will be rainy in the evening, it is not 110% sure that it will be raining after 7 p.m. So these kind of statement will definitely not come in the category of Boolean because you cannot give or justify the answer to it. Statements which can be true is, for example, if you're, let's say, in grade 10 right now or in grade 8 right now, you can say that after 1 year, I will be in grade 9. So this is going to be always true. Let's say one more statement is that I will take the umbrella if it is rainy or if it is very much sunny. So that statement also will be true. Those statements will come under the Boolean section. The next data type is float, or we say as floating point numbers. Floating point numbers. A float is a very interesting kind of data type because it holds all floating point numbers. Floating point number means all numbers which are having a decimal point. For example, 5.6, 7.8, 8.8, 9.1. Any number which has a decimal point are called as floating point numbers. How do we declare or initialize a floating point variable? It's very simple to do that. We first write the keyword, which is float. We will write it in small letters, float, and then we'll write a variable name. Let's say I'm writing num equal to, let's say, 4.5 and semicolon. So this is how we initialize and declare a floating point variable where the name of the variable is num and it has the value 4.5 inside it. Now floating point also take 4 bytes in your memory. So that point also you have to remember. Then we have double. Now here you may get confused a bit because double is also a floating point number. So you're going to ask, what will be the difference? Well, it's a very minor but a simpler difference is that double is simply more precise. What does that mean? For example, if I write a number 2.3 and in the next line I'm going to write a number 2.314821056781122. Now you tell me which number do you feel is more precise? Obviously it's the second one. So this number will come in the category of double. This number will come in the category of float. Very simple to understand. Now since it has to take a very high precise value, double needs more memory. So that means we give it as 8 bytes of memory. And how do we define or how do we declare a double variable? We simply write the word double or the keyword, write a variable name. Let's say this is num1 and give a number, let's say 2.36812311. So this can be considered as a double variable, which is having the value of this. Next one is void. Now void is a very uncommon kind of data type which you generally don't use, but void refers something to that has no word. Simply you can say that it is empty. So if it is empty, why do we need it? What do we have to store it? Well, the void data type refers something which is valueless. In simple words, you can understand that A void kind of data type, it cannot be declared. We cannot declare a void kind of data type. It is only used when you will learn functions. And we use void in functions when the function does not return anything. If the function doesn't return anything, or we don't want the function to return anything, then we use the void. Next, we have the void character. Now, void character is also a little bit tricky and uncommon, and we refer it as w char underscore t. This is the keyword which we use for void character. Now, since it is also a character, you may think that it takes 1 byte of memory, but actually that's not the case. It takes 2 bytes, or sometimes in some compilers, it can take 4 bytes as well. The big question will come that why do we need this void character? Well, the simple answer is we need this when any character or characters need more memory than 1 byte. For 1 byte, that is one single character, we have the character data type. But when we need more, then we use the void character. How do we declare or initialize a void character? Well, it's pretty simple. We're going to write w char underscore t. Let's say a variable name. Let's write c equal to, we will write it, for example, a p. This is how we represent. So these are all the primitive data types present in C++. Now, after we have finished all the primitive data types, we have the other two types, which is derived and abstract, which we will not do today in detail because it will definitely come in the future classes. But I will show you the implementation of the other primitive data types which have been used. Over here, I have mentioned all the data types which you have learned, and I have also given and initialized them to certain values. Now let's print them all one by one and see what they give as outcome. If I run this piece of code, you will see that I have got all the values which I have mentioned over here. So we can put different kind of values over here if you want. Since I have put these values, so you're getting the answers over here. But the point is that one thing you may notice over here, that the third one is printing 1. Even though the thing I have printed as true over here, it is not printing the word true over here. Well, the reason is simple. When you're talking in computers, we generally work with zeros and ones. So here you have to remember one thing, that 0 means false and 1 means true. So since I've given here true, that's why it is printing us the answer as 1, as you can see over here. So those are about primitive data types. There are other data types versions also, which you will learn in the future classes. And that would be it for the today's class. If you have any questions regarding it, you can put it in the comment section. We will discuss something else in the next class. Take care. Bye-bye.